This podcast is part of the Famous Original Podcast Network family. You can find us by going to www.fopnet.biz.
All over. It contains strong language, strong opinions, and strong beers. It is not meant for children or for those who think they are children. You know who you are.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Welcome to episode 104 of Dumb All Over. Recording from At Least We're Not Virginia, Pennsylvania, and the not-so-secret lair of New York, this is a progressive podcast with brash opinions on politics, religion, and pop culture. On this week's episode, we will update you on the happenings in Virginia, where it's gotten worse. It's gotten way worse. We will also talk about the State of the Union, or at least whatever we know about it, because we did not watch that shit. A Supreme Court ruling that is actually a good story. Matthew Whitaker, the Green New Deal proposal by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We will then answer your very, very special questions on Twitter.
Special questions.
The specialist. Right. Hey, as always, I am Tom. How about that? And guess who I'm joined by?
Oh, boy. Who could it be?
Some say he's a musician. Others say he's a bear. It is Austin!
Wow. I am here, yeah.
Or barely here. Okay. If you don't get it, Austin likes bears.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
We're taking that onto the podcast.
Laying it all out there.
Yeah, just laying it as, clear as day. Hi, Austin.
What's up, Tom?
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm waiting for more info about the Green New Deal.
Oh, well, you're going to have to wait. That's coming down in the line.
Wait for that.
And by that, I mean, it's the last story that we cover. Mm-hmm. Because I like to end. We've been ending the last couple of weeks with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez news, which makes me think because
she's going to get her own segment.
Well, she might end up having to get her own segment.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the most active congressperson in Congress. And every week we have a different story to cover. I don't know. It's something we have to think about because...
Like what's happening with AOC.
No. Okay. It's not as good as AOC time, but I'll take it.
That's what Tom would call it, yeah.
Yeah, AOC time.
AOC time.
AOC time.
Wow. Okay.
AOC time. Wow. But how you doing? Pretty good? Pretty well?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a busy week, very busy week for me. So
yeah, it seems
I
like
haven't had as much chance to keep up with the news. Although Virginia, despite how busy I am, Virginia seems to break through the news cycle.
Oh man, I can't wait until we start that story. That is something. It just amazes me that a situation like that could actually get worse. Like I thought when it happened, that's the story. Now we got to wait until the resignations start happening.
Nope.
Hell no! It's you know what? Let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into this. Let's get into this week's sort of Trump report.
Okay.
Have I done a good job?
Not at all. Probably the least of anybody you've ever met.
There's nobody that understands the horror better than me.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Sort of. Matthew Whitaker, sort of, is part of this.
What the fuck?
Sort of.
Where are all my stories?
Listen.
I have this Trump named after me, and it's like I'm not even involved like all the other things named after me.
Trump's, oddly enough, not the most interesting part of the news anymore. Not right now, at least.
Not right now.
I mean, we could talk about some things that he's been doing, but let's actually talk about this Virginia situation. So let's do a little refresher first.
Oh, wait, before that, just want the audience to know that Tom has a twink fetish. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
You know what sucks about you saying that? Is one, there's no context, like my bear thing. But you're going to edit out the bear thing, and you're going to keep that in there. I know it.
That's so true.
I know it. So now people are going to be like, and even this explanation is probably going to be cut like right here, and then no one's ever going to be hurt. And it's just a disaster.
That is all correct.
So, this is where I'm very happy I don't have like a personal Twitter, so I don't have to respond to this. Now, with that out of the way, let us move to Virginia. Not actually, because that state's really shitty. It's a really shitty state.
And I don't feel like putting on blackface right now. So
yeah,
I think it seems like a requirement to move to Virginia.
Or ever. Yeah. I don't really feel like doing that ever. Yeah. And this is, I read this comment on Twitter before we get involved. So hold on. A refresher. The governor, Ralph Northam, was accused of being in either a KKK hood or blackface in a picture in his college yearbook, his medical school yearbook.
Oh, talk about a Sophie's choice.
It's not much of a choice. Well, when we covered this, we were really discussing when he's going to resign. So, update on that. He hasn't.
We were wrong.
We were wrong. As a matter of fact, he's now claiming that he is going to finish up the next 3 years of his term. Yeah.
That stunned silence is real, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. He has announced, he's like, no, I'm going to finish out my 3 years. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's just saying that. But it's now like a week and a half later, and he still hasn't resigned.
He's still saying it. He's still saying the same thing.
And he's saying it. And now he's committed, apparently. You read this right before we start the show. He's now committed to making his term about racial equity. Not equality, equity.
Yeah. And
no.
I read an article on The Hill about it, and I would read from it for you guys, but after reading it, I still don't know what that means.
I have no idea. Like, first of all, why do that? Just say they're going to focus on racial equality.
Yeah. But like that might actually be a good thing.
But you're 100% sure it says equity. It's not a typo?
No, EQUITY, equity.
That's equity.
And then it says it again in the article, equity.
Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know. If anybody has an idea of what that means, if you're from Virginia, maybe it's a Virginia thing.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Northam told the Post, I assume that means the Washington Post, probably not the New York Post.
I would imagine not.
Northam told
they
the
also
Post
wear blackface.
That he has been working to increase his understanding of racial inequality by reading The Case for Reparations by Ta-Nehisi Coates and chapters of Roots. Oh, my God.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Why just chapters of Roots? Why not read the whole thing? Anyway. He said he also met with African-American legislators and community leaders and became more informed about the history of blackface. Seems a little late for that, but all right. Since, everybody already knows this.
Yeah.
He said he plans to incorporate sensitivity training into Virginia's government and also its schools and universities, and he hopes to work on increasing Medicaid enrollment and affordable housing opportunities and plans to actively push to get rid of Confederate monuments that people might find offensive.
Okay. I mean, that's something, but he still wore blackface.
Yeah. Although not according to him, he did, but not in that picture.
He still wore blackface, so...
And he wore blackface as Michael Jackson, which makes no sense, because Michael Jackson was lighter than I am.
I know. Yeah. Lighter than I am. And I'm translucent at this point.
But maybe that was 1980s Michael Jackson, who, granted, was a little bit darker.
Oh, maybe, yeah. All right. So here's the deal. He can finish out his 3 years, or...
Is it the Green New Deal? No.
Or he can resign... And it goes to the lieutenant governor. That's great. Governor. Awesome, right? Oh,
wrong.
Oh, wait.
I missed the perfect time to use Trump's wrong.
Oh, wait.
Wrong.
Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax has been accused of sexual assault by now 2 women.
I have to admit, I'm starting to like these Democrats in Virginia.
So the first woman accused Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of sexually assaulting her in 2004. This on Wednesday released a lengthy statement, including details of that alleged attack, at the Democratic National Convention.
Oh my God! What the
Vanessa
fuck
Tyson,
is
a
going on
California
in
University
Virginia?
professor, said that Fairfax forced her to engage in oral sex with him after they first engaged in consensual kissing in his hotel room. Fairfax has denied Tyson's claims. Okay, that was the first one.
Wow.
And then yesterday, a second woman has accused Virginia Lieutenant Governor of sexual assault. A Maryland woman on Friday said that she was sexually assaulted by Virginia Lieutenant Governor Fairfax. It was premeditated and aggressive, and this was in 2000, while both were undergraduate students at Duke University. She's the second woman this week to accuse him of sexual assault. Fairfax forcefully denied both allegations. Okay.
What else is he going to do? Of course he's going to deny it.
Of course you're going to deny it. And it's always a sticky situation. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's a rough situation.
Nope.
No, it's a confusing situation for.
At least you found that. I thought for sure the third one's going to be like, it's kind of a rapey situation. It's like, yeah, it is actually. It is a rapey situation.
Oh, Jesus. Like we've said in the past, with Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter what your political affiliation is at this point. When you're accused of sexual assault, it's really bad. And then the second time that it happens, it's, a lot more believable. Mm-hmm. I believe it from the very beginning. It takes a lot of courage for people, especially a professor at a college. Mm-hmm. You're not trying to get clout. You're not trying to get rich and famous. You're risking your entire career by doing that.
Yeah.
It's not one of those easy situations. Now, if it's someone who isn't in that kind of standing, people will question it. Not me personally, but now the second person's come out, and I don't know, but I have a feeling there's probably going to be more. Because if he is as much of a monster as these claims seem, it's not like the Morgan Freeman situation where he was never accused of actually touching someone. If I'm correct, he was more accused of verbally assaulting women. Yeah. This guy seems like he could actually be a rapist. Yeah. If you're forcing someone to give you oral sex, that's rape. If you're consensually kissed, that doesn't imply that you can take that situation and turn it into something else.
But I'm here to tell you that
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Even verbally assaulting a woman is just wrong.
Well, thank you, Morgan.
No.
That's really upstanding of you.
My lawyers told me I had to say
it. Well, it's good to know. Well, it's good to know that this is coming out because in the case that Northam resigned, this would have been the governor. So from there, from the lieutenant governor spot, it's supposed to go to the Senate Majority Leader next. And in this case, it's a Republican. And it's good to know that this Republican hasn't done anything wrong. He's an upstanding member of society. Virginia State Senator Tommy Norment edited yearbook with blackface and slur. The Republican Senate Majority Leader oversaw. Oh, God.
But no, I'm pretty sure that there's somebody before him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a second person who admitted to blackface. In Virginia.
Really?
Yes.
I can't keep up.
Yeah.
This is the Senate Majority Leader of the Senate. The Senate Majority Leader of Virginia.
He would technically be fourth in line.
So we're talking about the House Leader? Does it run the same way?
I don't think it runs the same way. I think it's the AG is where it would go next.
It would go to the AG?
Who I believe has also admitted to wearing blackface in the 80s.
Oh my God. Can this situation get any worse? So
why do you have to say that? Because now you know it's going to get worse.
Let me read a little bit about this guy here, right? Tommy Norment, who's the Senate Majority Leader, and he's GOP Party Leader.
Virginia's version of Mitch McConnell.
Pretty much, yeah. Norman, the
blackface.
Republican majority leader in the state Senate, oversaw the Virginia Military Institute's yearbook in 1968. The news outlet reports. In that yearbook, students appear dressed in blackface in several photos, and racial slurs are used often. In one instance, a student from Bangkok, Thailand, is called a Jap, and I don't even want to say it, but the racial word used to refer to Asians. A caption under another unidentified man reads, "He was known as the Barracks Jew, having his fingers in the finances of the entire Corps." Those are just some of the captions that were used.
It's unbelievable.
In this yearbook that was edited by the GOP leader. And some of the pictures that came out, I mean, they're clear. They're just everyone's in blackface. No Klan outfits, surprisingly, but I'm pretty sure that's their just after school activity at this point. Yeah. So what? Oh, here we go. Here you go. On Wednesday, Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring admitted that he once wore blackface when he dressed up as a rapper from a party decades ago.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
So now you have the governor, the lieutenant governor, the attorney general, and the majority leader of the Senate, all accused of either wearing blackface or in one way or another supporting blackface.
By the way, how did you find that article before I did? I was just about to get there.
It was actually in the same article as talking about Tommy Norman.
Oh, that's how you did. Okay.
Yeah. It was right at the bottom, a one paragraph thing.
So I was like, I know I saw it, and I was trying to find it.
This is crazy, man. This is one of the craziest stories I think we've ever covered. Not like in, I mean, there's been worse stories. Mm-hmm. Well, not really. Not really. This is one of the craziest things we've ever had to report.
Now, let me double check and see if there's any.
Yeah, go ahead. While you look for another Virginian who wears blackface, which apparently is not hard to find, let me explain to you what happened with Gucci a couple of days ago.
Oh my God. This just keeps getting crazy.
So why would we be talking about Gucci? Well, because Gucci had to apologize for something. Do you know what they apologized for, Austin?
No.
They made a turtleneck. I'm going to say, you know what? Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to send you the link. Check the chat, please.
All right.
So Gucci made a turtleneck.
Oh, wait, I did see this. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
And what's the fucking turtleneck? Well, first of all, it goes all the way up past the nose of the person.
God.
There's a hole for your mouth. Oh, and by the way, the turtleneck is black and it has gigantic red lips, also known as blackface. In a time where this shit is going on in Virginia, Gucci says the heads of Gucci are like, oh, this is a good idea. What year are we in, Austin?
I'm not sure anymore.
1919?
No, I think even then they knew this was a bad idea. But the good news for Gucci shareholders is that sales are up in Virginia.
Oh. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
What's in your closet?
So, in one of the statements by Gucci, they apologized for this, and they said that they didn't know that blackface images are racist.
It's just so ridiculous.
I'm sorry, what?
What are they talking about? What do you mean?
What?
Am I? Are we in some
they
alternate universe where the civil rights movement never happened?
Look, they just introduced a new neckwear. It looks like a rope around the neck, but it's a necklace in the shape of a noose.
That's what I mean. Like, what are they doing?
Well, that's not real, by the way. That would be.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, it's just as crazy.
I just like I read this.
It's like our new line of purses called Jim Crow.
Not while I'm drinking, Austin.
Sorry, only white people are allowed to buy them.
Oh, no, there's probably a section for the black people's line. In that line,
that's in the back.
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
And Gucci, isn't that an Italian company?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds Italian.
It's one of those fashion.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
As an Italian, well, the executives I think it was started in Italy. No, the headquarters is still in Florence.
Oh, still?
But it's a parent company of Caring, which is based in France. It doesn't matter where it's from. It's definitely an Italian company, and that doesn't surprise me. Because
well, I was going to say
Italians are very conservative. And
yeah,
very
when I was
racist
over in
a lot of
Europe,
ways.
I remember them saying like, "Oh yeah, visit all the countries, But when you're in Italy, be careful because they're a little more conservative and kind of a little more backwards thinking than the rest
100%.
of Europe.
And I have family from Italy.
I mean,
I'm
it is
100%
where fascism
Italian.
comes from.
And most of my family is extremely racist. And I'll never understand why, but unfortunately, it's just a way of thinking. It's like you get countries that are moving in such a progressive way up north in Europe, like the Scandinavians and England and even France and
even Germany.
Germany. Yeah, right. And then Italy's just like, no. There was a quick story. There was a soccer player named Mario Balotelli, born in Africa, but he was adopted by an Italian family in Sicily when he was a baby. So he grew up as an Italian, speaks fluent Italian. He is an Italian citizen. He played on the Italian national soccer team. When he came up, he was really, really talented. Everyone really wanted this guy to be good, except Italians, because he went to play for his favorite team, AC Milan. And as he would leave stadiums in Italy, people were throwing banana peels at him. This was actually happening to him. It got so bad that he had to leave, and he ended up going to England to continue his soccer career. Now I don't know where he is. He's kind of fallen off. But still, like, that happened in Italy.
That's crazy.
People were throwing banana peels. And this was like 2015, 16, maybe?
What the fuck, Italy?
No. And now we're in 2019, and we're talking about blackface for 2 straight weeks.
I wonder how many Italians live in Virginia.
That's a good question. Oh, man. All right, so let's move on, because I'm pretty sure next week we're going to have more to cover when we find out everyone in Virginia, when they apply to live in Virginia, they have to take their license plate with blackface or something like that. Don't know. We're going to find that out next week. Let's move on to our one and kind of only Trump story. I forgot this was in here, so we can actually talk about this. It's the State of the Union. It happened. Did you watch it?
So wonderful. No, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I don't know what I would have rather do anything. Like watch paint dry.
This American carnage stops here.
Yeah. So a couple highlights. All right.
Although I heard that he went all Dr. Seuss on it.
Did he? What do you mean?
Oh no, it was more Johnny Cochran actually.
Why? What do you mean?
Where he was like, "We cannot have peace and legislation while we have war and investigation."
Oh, I see.
Thank
He was
you.
rhyming his
Thank
way
you.
through it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's one way to get through that. I guess there was a couple other things. One, fact checkers had a lot of fun with this one. While he did actually tell the truth in a few spots, I'm referring to articles from Snopes.
Like,
he
hello,
lied.
and welcome to the United States State of the Union address. It's like,
Yep,
that's
pretty
true.
much.
It is that.
Pretty much. That was about it. No, there's a couple of things that he actually did tell the truth on, but to his defense, he's actually done that the entire time. It's the other stuff. It was pretty much a Trump speech.
Everybody tells the
all it
truth
was.
sometimes.
Right. And his talking points that involve the truth have always involved the truth, even though they're variations of the truth most of the times. It was pretty much a campaign stump. That's all it was.
It's a stump speech, yeah.
It was the same exact thing that we've been hearing. Nothing was really changed. The big difference...
You know what the weird thing is, though? None of the conservative commentators seem to have liked it.
Well, I think part of that has to do with the fact that he actually remained on script for most of the time. I think there were only, from what I understand, there were only a few times where he kind of went off the teleprompter. You know what I mean?
Well, there was one time when he even commented that there was like a section that he liked, and he's like, and he was like, "That's a good line."
During the thing?
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, here was Ann Coulter's response to the State of the Union. Now imagine I sound like, a witch. Golden Beaches of California. That was the lamest, sappiest, most intentionally tear-jerking State of the Union ever. Please fire your speechwriter, Donald Trump.
She does not like Donald Trump.
Not right
The only thing that I like about her is that she doesn't like Donald Trump. That's literally it. Let's see. Bernie Sanders did not stand, clap, or smile the entire time, as well as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She and a few others around her did not clap. She never smiled. She didn't stand. Even when Trump was talking about bipartisanship, which is a kind of a weird turn for Donald Trump, and he was really pushing the idea of bipartisanship, AOC wouldn't support that because it's coming from him. There was a line where he damned socialism.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
Yeah, it was funny. And the camera, and this is what I hate about mainstream media. As soon as he said that, the camera pans right to AOC, like right to her, because she was unamused by it.
On some stations, on other stations, apparently it went right to Bernie Sanders, who was also not very amused.
Oh, okay. So either one of them. The one I saw,
like,
at least
we know
the clip
the
that was going
two
through.
who've used that word before.
Right. Yeah. So let's pan right to them and see what the reaction is. And Bernie just looked like Bernie. He was just sitting there, not smiling and being Bernie.
It's like an old man trying to send back soup at a deli.
Yeah. And then AOC was just pissed, but not in like a pouty way, but in a, oh, you're going to get yours, don't worry, that kind of way.
Oh, here's something else another conservative commentator had to say about it.
Go for it.
Now, bear with me, because since I pulled up this article, I have to wipe all the Santorum off my computer.
Okay.
Rick Santorum says, this was probably the worst delivered speech I've heard Donald Trump give.
Really?
He ran over his lines. He mixed up. He didn't deliver his punchlines. What is he, a comedian? He would deliver a line and then go to the next issue, and I don't think he even realized he was moving on to the next issue. Of course not, because he's stupid.
Well,
someone didn't do a good job of breaking his speech, so he knew what to do. That was the problem. Or, he is a human being with reading comprehension, supposedly. You'd think he'd just be able to know that by reading it.
Well, first of all, he's not a comedian. He's just a clown.
Okay, here's the next part. Santorum says, in an hour and a half, Donald Trump proposed 8 domestic policies. 8. And 2 of those were child cancer and AIDS, which I think that's funny because it sounds like he was proposing those. I know what Santorum meant.
Yeah, I know.
But it's just funny that even he can't get this right. That was not a big speech, Santorum goes on to say.
Okay.
He says, meanwhile, Stacey Abrams, within the first 4 minutes, proposed like 40 pieces of domestic policy, which I don't think is actually true.
No, but we'll also talk about that in a second as well. Here's actually Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's response to Trump's dig on socialism. Quote, I think he's scared. This comes from the HuffPo.
He should be scared.
Yeah. So this is what Trump said. We are born free and we will stay free. Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country. Democrats in attendance had a varied response. However, AOC, the newly elected millennial progressive from New York, flashed a big smile but remained seated. Fellow Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders sat stone-faced. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also remained seated behind Trump but clapped politely. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, meanwhile, stood up and clapped along. And I saw his reaction, and it was disgusting. It was just like, it was so disgusting. I hated it so much. But this is what AOC said. I think it was great. I think he's scared. He sees that everything is closing in on him, and he knows he's losing the battle of public opinion when it comes to actual substantive proposals that were advancing to the public, she said, citing polls that showed a majority of the public in support of her proposal to dramatically increase the top marginal income tax rate to 70%. Everything is about what he doesn't want. Everything is about the boogeyman, she added. AOC had been drawing heat from the night, and self-styled centrist Howard Schultz, the billionaire, who was considering an independent run for president. But anyway, yeah, so that happened, and AOC went right to this, and attack Trump the way that she should have and the way she did. Now, I found comedy in the fact that, all right, so first of all, Stacey Abrams delivered the Democratic response, which I watched a majority of that. I just wanted to see what she said. It was fine. It was a good speech. It was an empowered speech. It's good to see a face like that, a young, new age Democrat speaking, right? But then, behind the scenes, all of the 2020 candidates pretty much had a response. Kamala Harris had a response.
Wasn't Kamala Harris's response before Trump actually gave the State of the Union?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how you can respond.
I think Tulsi had a response. A couple others had a response. Booker, I think, had a response. And then Bernie, who waited until Stacey Abrams was done, gets fucking attacked by the centrists on Twitter.
Nah. Well, it's the Twitter people are always like that.
Originally, people were going after him saying, oh, you're going to step all over her spotlight. And then Bernie goes and waits for her to finish. And then
I'm pretty sure that was always the plan.
It was. Yeah. But I mean, just the fact that it happened and he still got attacked for it. It's just so comical.
Well, he's going to get attacked no matter what he does. So.
I know. And there was nothing special about his response. It was the talking points that he's been preaching for 30 years. No. So, like, there was nothing special about it. I actually enjoyed the Stacey Abrams one because I really haven't heard her speeches that often. So it was kind of cool. Yeah. But Bernie did wait. For anybody who was wondering, he waited until Stacey Abrams was done to deliver his speech. Yeah. And it was just a response to all the bullshit that Trump spewed. So,
and it was online. It wasn't like televised.
It was, yeah. Well, that's what Bernie's really good at.
But I'm just saying, like, all the other people went on TV shows.
On TV, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. If Bernie even tried to go on TV, they wouldn't have covered it anyway. So,
I'm not so sure anymore.
I'm pretty sure.
I think MSNBC might have had him on, but they had on AOC instead.
Which is actually, I'm fine with that.
Really, they should have just let her give the response.
Yeah.
Really send a message.
Yeah. I think Democrats are still 50-50 with her. I think half of them are very scared of her.
I don't think so. I think the punditry is, and I think the people in D.C. are, but when you talk to regular people, everybody loves her.
No. I'm talking about Democrats in political office.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about
they're 50,
congressmen and women. Yeah. I think that's split 50-50. I think half of them are on her side, maybe not even half, and then the rest are very scared of her. Public opinion of her, I think the polls speak for themselves. She's very popular so far. She's killing it. Yep. So there's that, and there's really not much to add to that. It was just a kind of a bullshit topic, bullshit speech. Trump got it out of the way. Doesn't change a thing. Yeah. Any thoughts on it? Any further thoughts?
I mean, I'm glad it's over and they can stop fighting about it.
Yeah.
Because people have to remember, even the lead up to this was just a big fight because of the government shutdown.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of which, the shutdown update 2019 version 2.0. It sounds like they're going to come to a deal.
Oh.
So we're going to avoid the, February 15th deadline?
Right. What's the deal?
So apparently it's all the stuff that the Democrats offered before, and they're going to offer $1.5 billion in border security, but it's not going to include a physical barrier.
Really?
Yeah.
And Trump's going to take that?
He's being advised to, yeah. And it sounds like he's going to.
Okay. I was going to say, because being
it sounded like that last time. So we'll see.
True, yeah. And just because people are advising him to do something, I don't think means fucking diddly squat.
But here's the thing. Trump unfollowed Ann Coulter on Twitter, so maybe he won't hear her anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on. That Republican Party is so fractured. I know people will talk about the Democrats being fractured with the progressives and the centrists, but the Republican Party is a fucking mess, man.
Yeah, but at least in the Democratic Party, it's politicians who are arguing.
Right. Yeah. That's
like
a good point.
The left politicians are arguing with the centrist politicians. In the Republican Party, it's game show hosts and pundits who are arguing with each other.
Yeah. Well,
and the politicians, for the most part, like, you haven't heard a word from Mitch McConnell in a long time. Like, they're trying to stay out of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a long time, is right. I haven't even heard much from Ted Cruz, and he's one that never really shy away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from Marco Rubio? Is he still... Where is he?
My guess is he's somewhere in Little Havana trying to avoid people knowing he's there.
Yeah, he's still a senator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't heard from him since he won it. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
It's like, please don't talk to me.
Yeah, right.
Little Marco.
Yeah, little Marco.
And I think maybe Ted Cruz's beard has zapped all of his strength.
Wait, we can only hope. Let's move on.
How did he ruin beards? I just don't understand. They look good on almost everybody except for Ted Cruz.
Yeah, but his is weird because
his face is weird.
His face is weird, and he has like patches of gray.
Yeah,
but it's not like a nice like mix of black and gray.
No, it's not like what do they call that? The salt and pepper.
Yeah,
it's not.
No,
like
his is more like the Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah,
it's really
it looks
weird.
like he's kind of a skunk. Yeah,
there you go.
And he's probably kind of rapey too. So.
Oh. Well, I know he definitely likes to masturbate. That's one thing we learned about him.
Like Ben Shapiro, he is a master debater.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Next story. The U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday blocked Louisiana from enforcing a law that women's groups said would leave only a single doctor legally allowed to perform abortions in the state. So some clarity on that. Louisiana was trying to drastically reduce abortion rights by pretty much eliminating them. And that case made it all the way to the Supreme Court, which is a conservative majority. So people, like myself included, when we first heard about this, thought instantly, this is going to be the first major case. Kavanaugh's first abortion case. We have Gorsuch, John Roberts. Mm-hmm. Scary, right?
Yeah.
By a 5-4 vote, the court said the restrictions must remain on hold while challengers appeal a lower court decision in favor of the law. Chief Justice John Roberts voted with the court's liberal members. So that was pretty groundbreaking, but it's not eliminating it, apparently. It's just temporarily stopping it.
Yeah.
Which is not very comforting.
No, but it is. It makes me laugh that the conservatives find it annoying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love seeing that, too.
It's like, come on. What are you doing, Roberts?
Mm-hmm. Thursday's ruling, Kavanaugh voted with conservatives Clarence Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch. Kavanaugh filed a dissent, writing only for himself. He said he would have allowed the law to take effect in order to see whether it would impose a burden on women's access to abortion in the state. Like, that's just something you fuck around with. You don't pass a law to see, will it work? It's like, I want to see if a gun to the head will actually kill someone. So let's pass a law that allows everyone to at least fire one shot to their head. And if it kills people, we'll take the law away. You fucking dumbass. Mm. It's idiotic.
They would probably vote for that. They like gun stuff.
They probably would.
That's my freedom.
Yep.
Now we don't have to hear from you anymore, Jimbo.
No, not Jimbo. Don't talk about Jimbo.
Oh, it's not Jimbo McInsist. He has a different place.
Another Jimbo?
Yeah.
There's only one Jimbo on Dumb All Over.
I don't think so. I think when you hit the states of Alatucky, you can... I think there's enough Jimbos to go around.
Oh, boy. Quote, the Supreme Court has stepped in under the wire to protect the rights of Louisiana women, said Nancy Northup, president and CEO of the Center for Reproductive Rights. The three clinics left in Louisiana. There's only 3 clinics left in Louisiana. Can stay open while they ask the Supreme Court to hear our case.
By the way, can I say, how did a city so wonderful as New Orleans end up in a state as horrible as Louisiana? Like, I don't get it.
If you think about it, in almost, there's exceptions. In almost every conservative state, there's at least one left-leaning or left-wing city. Like, is it Houston? Is it Houston or Houston?
No, it's Austin.
Austin is is like supposedly one of the biggest LGBTQ rights cities in the country, and it's in Texas. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So I guess you have to have New Orleans in Louisiana.
I know, but
Otherwise,
there's
that's-
tons of states that aren't even as bad as Louisiana that don't have cities as good as New Orleans.
Right.
Well.
Yeah, I don't know the capitals of the southern states that well. I really don't. I'm secretly hoping that the country splits in I'm
sorry, but if you're a state that fought a war so you could keep people enslaved, I don't really have to learn your capital.
like I said, like if tomorrow the country announced, like the southern states announced, like, hey, we're splitting again from the union, I'd be like, okay.
Finally. It's like, finally
Okay.
get rid of these idiots.
I don't really have a reason. You do. You have a reason to go down to Florida, so I feel bad for you. But I don't really have a reason to go up south anymore.
That's
good.
okay.
I'm trying to move further
the
north.
part of Florida I like is probably going to be underwater in like 15 years. So,
that's true.
so I won't have a reason to go very much longer.
There you go. But anyway, that's that. So that's good news. We'll keep you updated if when this reaches the Supreme Court and a final decision is made on that. I'm really, really pulling for Louisiana to keep at least their 3. I can't believe they only have 3 in the entire state. That's so disgustingly embarrassing.
And I think there's some states that are worse, like Kentucky.
Kentucky has less than 3?
I think so.
Ugh.
And they tried to make it where Texas only has 1, I think.
Why do people
And
live
Texas
down
is a
south?
giant state.
Why do people live down south? Why?
Well, for a lot of people, they're just born there. There's nothing they can do about it.
They can move.
Not if you're born into extreme poverty. What are you going to do?
That's true. Move to Pennsylvania. It's pretty much extreme poverty here. You can get a trailer. Half the state's in a fucking trailer.
I know, but you still have to move, and I'm not sure that would. Make it any better. If you're now moving to Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, I'm not sure it's going to be any better than where you are right now.
No,
Yeah.
not really. Although we have a Democratic governor who hasn't worn blackface. Please, I hope. I hope.
Yeah.
I assume John Fetterman has never done that. That's our lieutenant governor.
I don't think
but
so.
I hope. But I hope.
You might find out that he was in like a biker gang or something, but
Fine, as long as it wasn't a racist biker gang.
yeah, yeah.
You know, fine.
It wasn't like
That's
the
okay.
Hell's Angels. It was like the Hell's.
He's like
Equality for
7
everybody.
foot tall. Can a motorcycle even support him? Seriously, he's giant.
Probably they have big motorcycles.
I don't know anything about
Have you
motorcycles.
ever seen like
A
the
motorcycle?
people?
No.
I know you've seen a motorcycle, but you ever seen those like groups of people who ride around there where you live?
Yeah,
on Harley
yeah.
Davidsons. They're
Yeah.
pretty big people.
Some are.
Yeah, and they still
Yeah.
are able to ride those things. So
He definitely looks like he could be a biker,
yeah.
John Fetterman. But like I said, I don't care as long as he hasn't worn blackface or raped someone.
Well,
Because
Tom, this
that
isn't
seems-
Virginia.
I thought it was for a long time.
No, if there's something, Pennsylvania is slightly better at. It's a
know.
little bit less blackface.
We're not the worst state.
They should put that on their welcome. Welcome to Pennsylvania. We're not
Not
Virginia.
as bad as Virginia. We don't wear blackface here. Well, most of the times. Our final story is the one that you've been waiting for the entire time.
Oh, is this what's happening with AOC?
It is what's happening with AOC. Was this the official beginning of the segment? I don't know. If
Sure.
there's a theme
I haven't
song,
come up with a better name yet.
if a song just played before this, Austin has created this into an official thing.
No, I don't think a new song will be written by tomorrow. So,
Okay. True.
nah, maybe next week.
From the Hill, Ocasio-Cortez unveils Green New Deal climate resolution. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, for those keeping score at home.
Oh, by the way,
Yes,
whose
Austin.
name we've pronounced right from the beginning, that people still are having trouble with in mainstream media.
With what part?
Ocasio.
Ocasio?
Yeah. Especially
That's
on
just-
Fox News, she is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Ocasio-Cortez. That's like every white person who goes to like a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like, can I get a quesadilla?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ocasio? I don't understand how that's hard.
I don't get it either.
And like, if anything, or Cortez would be a harder thing, I would think.
You'd
but
think
I don't
so,
know.
but apparently not.
Anyway,
Ooh,
Alexandria
I'll have a couple
Ocasio
chicken
or
fajitas.
Ocasio. Huh?
That's my favorite one.
What?
People who can't pronounce fajita.
Oh, fajitas?
Or fajitas, yeah.
Oh, fajitas?
I'll have a couple chicken fajitas.
Can I get a jalapeno?
That sounds like vagina, actually.
I want a jalapeno with that, please.
A jalapeno, yes, please.
AOC on Thursday introduced a new climate change resolution, which aims to bring the progressive Green New Deal to life legislatively and push the U.S. to take a lead role in reducing carbon emissions through the economy.
That's exciting.
That's the important part. The proposal, entitled Recognizing the Duty of the Federal Government to Create a Green New Deal, has a goal of creating millions of, quote, good and high-wage jobs, end quote, by striving for net zero greenhouse gas emissions. Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts is introducing a companion proposal in the upper chamber. The legislation offers a natural transition for Ocasio-Cortez, who, before even formally entering office, championed the idea of a Green New Deal, which you can hear about on an interview with Dumb All Over. Just saying. She mentioned the makings of this on our show. Mm-hmm. When I went back and I listened to it and we asked about the environment and she was breaking down this exact same bill, I got chills. It was so fun to listen to that.
The Green New Deal, yeah.
No. It's the basis for creating a special committee on climate change. Engaging in a sit-in at Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office with members of the Youth Climate Advocates, the Sunrise Movement, Ocasio-Cortez pushed to make climate change the main focus of the Democratic Party as they took back control of the House. Her proposed special committee was ultimately rejected by Democratic leaders who opted instead for a panel on climate crisis that lacks legislative and subpoena power. Pelosi on Thursday announced the names of 8 members of Congress who will sit in on the panel. Ocasio-Cortez is not one of them, but you explain to me why.
Yeah, so apparently AOC was offered a role on the panel, but she is part of more committees than I think any freshman. And bigger committees, like the Finance Committee.
Right. It's a big one.
And she's also on the Environmental Oversight Committee. So it's not like she's not on an environmental committee. But she didn't think that she would have enough time to be able to also be on this climate change committee.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So
her plate is
apparently
full.
There's a climate activist on there already.
Okay.
So I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the resolution aims to continue the tenets that the committee priming congressional leaders to accept the dire climate situation as laid out in this November's United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. God, these titles are so fucking long. Somebody needs to go into these organizations and say, hey, name this bill something better and easier.
Yeah.
Because these are ridiculous.
Although I have to say, I like this precedent of the media pointing out when AOC isn't part of something that they would think she should be.
I know.
Because you have to remember, she's a freshman congresswoman.
Not just a freshman, but she started a month ago.
Yeah. But like this, they never get these committee assignments. So
no,
you have to remember that it's already been amazing.
She's been thrown so many that she has to turn them down.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that report, by the way, said that the world has 12 years to reverse emission trends in order to thwart irreversible global warming. Mm-hmm. So this bill is directed to fixing that, and it's going after the economy and trying to force it to be fixed that way, which is the way it should be. Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be. And a lot of companies, especially during the Obama administration, you start to see there was backlash originally when people were like, oh, companies are not going to change their ways. But guess what? A lot of companies started changing their ways.
Yeah.
And it was working. And then this administration came in and kind of backed off on that. And I bet you a lot of those companies, and I don't know this for a fact, I don't have the actual written proof of this, but I bet you a lot of those companies reverted back to old tactics.
Probably.
I bet you.
Anybody who doesn't think that legislation and regulations can actually clean up the environment, just look at Los Angeles now compared to in the 70s when the entire city was encased in a thick layer of smog. Like, if you saw pictures of Los Angeles, it was just like a big cloud hung over the entire city. Mm-hmm. And now it's not.
Right.
And if you look at pictures in the 80s of Manhattan, it was just the same thing. It was like this big, just like smoke. It looked disgusting. And now,
it's not.
When you see it, it's not.
Yeah.
And that's all because of regulation.
And it does work.
Yeah. And not only that, there's the like here they have, what is it, the Gowanus Canal, which was like one of the most heavily polluted water sources in the country, is now fairly clean because of regulation. Yep.
Well, there you go.
And
yeah,
the East River,
in New York alone, the
yeah.
Hudson River is one of the most polluted rivers in the world.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, I remember when we were in school, we learned about the Hudson and how bad it was.
Yeah.
They were like, if you take a drink out of it, you could die. It's that polluted.
Yeah.
And even that river, although still polluted, by the way, they made a lot of changes to how shit is dumped into that river, and it's not as polluted as it was.
No.
And these things take time. And unfortunately, when you have people like Ben Carson, who once said, "Oh, if Trump does win, it's for only 4 years." You know, like what can happen in 4 years? A lot can happen.
Well, he wouldn't know because he sleeps most of the time.
He's a fucking sloth, man. I used to work for Nike, and when Obama's administration made these laws to have companies change a lot of things, Nike, who's one of the biggest offenders in everything you can imagine, they went very green in a lot of ways. They opened up recyclable shoes so people could bring old shoes to any Nike store, and then Nike would collect those shoes, box them, and send them to the headquarters, who would melt them down to make reusable things like mats and like those walls at gyms. So when people run into, they won't kill themselves, kind of deal. So they reused shoes. They were heavily involved in recycling boxes. I don't know if companies like that still do those kind of things right now.
I don't know, but I think Walmart is even switching to electric trucks to deliver their stuff.
Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they put in a big order with Tesla.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so like basically all of their short-range deliveries are going to be electric, and they're working on getting the long-range ones eventually.
Okay.
But even Walmart, like one of the most disgusting companies in North America.
In the world,
yeah. Well, I'm not sure. There's some like stuff out of Saudi Arabia, and there's more global players that I think are actually worse than Walmart.
Well, yeah, but you said one of the worst. I think
that's because here we have all of the horrible companies. Like we have Amazon, we have Walmart, we have Google, we have Apple. Like all these people are doing horrible things, and
they're pretty bad.
So we have a lot of them.
Right.
Oh, speaking of Amazon, sounds like the New York deal might fall through.
Well, that's good. We were kind of hoping on that.
Yes, we were very much. And it's all because Amazon is trying to fight unionizing in New York.
Okay.
And the mayor is actually putting his foot down and going, no, we're not.
Well, I would hope so, because I'm sure the backlash from that original thing probably struck a nerve with him, especially after seeing that interview with Bill Maher. Maybe it's not exactly what he thought it was, or maybe now he's kind of realizing, oh, shit.
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure, which is good. So thank you.
Which is very good. Very good.
Thank you, labor activists in Queens.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We've been going at the news for a while. Let's take a break. We'll come back with some questions and a poll from Twitter.
Okay, sounds good.
And we're back. What a long break. Yeah, I know. Like, man, if you only knew, we took like a 7 millisecond break. Welcome back to the Dowcast, everyone. We are ready for our next segment. And Austin, do you know what segment that is? You're right, it's Twitter time! I didn't even let you do your collective sigh. I watched. I saw you preparing. Poll of the week, bitches! Austin, did you watch the Super Bowl?
No.
Me neither. Why would I do that? Well, I went on Twitter and I asked the same question. Did you watch this year's Super Bowl? Yes? No? Wait, that happened? Or what's the Super Bowl? Were your options? No one. No one. no won the poll. No, the answer no.
Yeah.
Won, W-O-N, not no won the poll.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm glad we had that like
Clarified it
like
for you.
Mel Brooks moment. Thank you.
57% of those who voted said no.
That's
57%.
what I would have guessed. Yeah, I would have guessed
Yeah.
that no was the one.
Well,
who won?
I had the same feeling, but I also this is
By the way,
our
that was our
audience.
version of Who's on First.
Yeah. Was it?
No one.
I guess.
No one. What? No, not what. One.
There you go. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. For one, I knew the Patriots were going to win. Second, I've really fallen off with my interest in football over the past few years. One, being a Jet fan really helps with that, because when you see a crappy product every year, it's not fun to watch. But second, I don't like the way the NFL treats its players. The Colin Kaepernick situation really kills me, because there are a lot, like, the Jets could have used him. We could have easily have used him this year, because he's not the worst quarterback in the world.
There's a
but
ton
he
of
won't
teams
get
that could
hired.
have used him.
Oh, yeah. But he won't get hired because of something extremely, extremely idiotic. And just the treatment of players in general, and how they handle situations like domestic abuse and drug. Like, they'll suspend someone for smoking pot for 4 games, and they won't suspend someone who just beat up their girlfriend. It's disgusting. It's a terrible organization full of rich, terrible humans. I just don't like it anymore. And then on top of that, the Patriots have won every Super Bowl since I was 3, and it's really obnoxious. It's really obnoxious.
It is.
And then
it is
I found
pretty
out the game
obnoxious.
was extremely stupid and boring.
Yeah. And apparently, and I didn't watch it, and I haven't watched any of it, but apparently the halftime show is the worst ever.
Was it really? Who was even in it?
Maroon 5?
Oh, you're right. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
I know that there was a big petition to get, and I don't think you watched SpongeBob, but I watched SpongeBob a lot when I was younger. And there was this very iconic moment in SpongeBob where SpongeBob plays in like a marching band that actually goes from the sea into this like dome thing and plays a halftime show.
Oh wait, I do remember
song,
that one.
And the song was called Sweet Victory, and that was always one of my favorite SpongeBob songs. There was a petition to have that as the halftime show. So apparently, and I didn't watch this either, but apparently they started off with that first bit of the clip, and everyone freaked out. They're like, yes, it's happening. And then they went right to like fucking Maroon 5 or something.
Ugh,
and it was like,
God.
oh. And then the other highlight is, and you probably don't understand any of this, but someone named Mr. Beast from YouTube had him and his friends wear a shirt that says sub to PewDiePie, which or just sub to PewDiePie, because PewDiePie is in like a race to be the best or the most subscribed video. I'm not going to go into details of that, but when the first field goal that missed, ESPN took a snapshot of the ball going to the left side of the post, and right in the background you can see them all holding up their shirts that says sub to PewDiePie. So the internet went crazy for a little bit, and that's pretty much the knowledge that I have. And then the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Isn't PewDiePie kind of a douchebag though?
Yes and no.
Okay.
A lot of the attacks that he's suffered have been way overblown and kind of picked out to make it look like he's a douchebag, but he is a douchebag. Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah. It's hard to explain, but like he has a very interesting relationship with the Wall Street Journal. An article came out with like a 10-second clip of them pulling out jokes that can be construed or misinterpreted as extremely racist, but
misinterpreted. Thank you, George Bush.
Misinterpreted.
Look,
whatever.
I told them they just misinterpreted it.
Is that not a word?
No, it's misinterpreted.
Oh, whatever. It's the same thing.
It's not misinterpreted.
It's the same thing. Listen, I'm not a wordsmith. I think we're clear at 104 episodes in that I don't do words. It's the same thing. Everyone understood that for a second.
No, they didn't.
They knew what I meant. Everyone knew what I meant. There's not a single person that's like, oh yeah, no, I didn't understand what he meant because
misinterpreted. Oh my God, that's amazing.
It sounds like it could be a word. Shut up, Austin. I don't remember what I was saying.
Everybody misinterpreted my strategy.
Nah, strategery is a word, by the way.
Strategery? No, it is not a word.
I gotta defend my homeboy George. We speak from the same book. Well, I'm sorry, we talk from the same book.
I help millions of people put food on their families.
Oh yeah.
My whole administration where wings take dream.
Yeah, there you go. Our podcast is still where wings take dream, which I still don't understand. I understand messing words up like that, misinterpreted.
No.
What's another one that people do that actually drives me crazy? No, not irrelevant. What's irregardless. That one always gets me when people say irregardless. Yeah. Like that one always catches me.
That's not a word.
It's not a word. Yeah,
you
don't say. Yeah, right. Or regardless, but not irregardless. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. I understand when people do that, but when people say "where wings take dream," what the fuck does that mean? Whatever. So anyway, and by the way, what's the Super Bowl? Came in third place. Now I don't know if people are just trolling or they actually don't know because
I think they're just trolling. Well, maybe they're foreign, so I don't know.
Yeah, right. And we do have
a not America audience,
right? Which is apparently not. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Part of our audience. So there's that.
There is that.
Yeah. How many times have the Patriots won the Super Bowl now? What are they up to with Tom Brady? 6. Man. That's too many.
It's funny because in the 80s they used to have a thing with the Steelers that was like they had 4 championships and they kept saying 1 for the thumb so they could have 5 rings. I don't know if they got the 5 rings in the 80s. I think they had to wait till the 90s to get it.
Okay.
But I think the Patriots are now tied for all-time Super Bowls because
really?
I think the Steelers have 6. But they have 6 in their entire history.
Yeah.
Where the Patriots have 6, but it's all within the Belichick-Brady era.
All right, let's see. Patriots. I'm sorry, not Patriots. Oh, here we go. Steelers have 6 in 8 games played. 2 losses. Yep. Patriots have 11 games played, 6 wins, 5 losses. Yeah. So by that definition, the Steelers, when they go to Super Bowl, they typically win. Patriots are almost 50-50.
But it also means they go to the Super Bowl a lot less.
A lot, yeah. The Niners have 5, Cowboys have 5, and the Cowboys kind of did the same thing, didn't they? They won almost all of theirs in a short span.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep, they were big in the
Packers
80s.
have 4, Giants have 4, Raiders have 3, and then it's just there's the Jets with 1.
The Packers are the opposite. Theirs are like over like really long spans of time.
Yeah, Packers are 5 games played, 4-1. So they're also, but Bart Starr was 2-0. Brett Favre was 1-1. Aaron Rodgers is 1. And those are split between.
That's what I mean. That's a long period of time between those quarterbacks.
Yeah. Or you can be like, the Jets, and they started off so well.
Have won back in the 60s.
Yeah. Dolphins?
We won 72-73, and we've been to 5, I think.
Okay. Oh, here you are. Yeah. You're 2-3. Yeah. There you go. Anyway, I'm done with football. So done with football. Let's move on to the questions.
All right.
Let's see. Who should we start with? Let's start off with the MC Variety Hour, the Mayos and Crawford Show.
Oh, okay.
If you had to see someone put on public trial and they took a truth serum prior to their testimony, would you choose Dick Cheney, Mitch McConnell, or Mike Pence?
Oh. Oh my God, that is such a good question. I think
I got my answer.
Oh, I'm not sure now. Good, you answer first because I'm not sure.
I want that situation for Dick Cheney.
And see, I was thinking the same thing, but then I thought about it and I realized, he just kind of tells the truth all the time, and we give him a pass for it for some reason. Like he tells people exactly what he wants to do.
Yes, but I think that there's a lot more
that he hasn't said.
Yeah. I get that vibe. We both grew up in that administration. We remember all this.
Yeah,
the common joke, quote unquote joke, is that Dick Cheney was actually the president and Bush was his puppet.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I want to know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And there's a chance out of those three, right? Mike Pence is the vice president now. Mitch McConnell is, a public figure for a long time. But Dick Cheney, the common consensus with Dick Cheney is that he started these wars that have killed thousands and thousands of innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
We're still fighting and cleaning up the messes that were created by that administration. If he's actually behind that, I want to hear it from him.
And all of
with the
this,
truth serum.
all of the foreign policy following 9/11,
Yeah,
which has been
if that's all his,
18 years, has
Yeah.
been dealing with stuff that Dick Cheney did.
Exactly.
Absolutely true. Yeah.
So I would like to hear that. And I just don't think there's enough with Mike Pence. With Mike Pence, what you're getting with this situation is the truth on Trump.
Well, you might finally get somebody coming out.
And him coming out as gay. Yeah. Even what's his name? What's the guy I was watching before? Shit. Hold on. I forgot what his name is.
Who could you possibly be talking about?
Remember I was telling you about the clip, the commentator, the progressive commentator. What's his name? Bob,
Jimmy Dore?
Jimmy Dore. Why was I thinking Bob Dore?
It's almost Bob Dole.
Yeah.
Bob Dole is like that.
Jimmy.
Bob
Jimmy
Dole says
Dore?
you should vote for Bob
Jor?
Dole.
Jimmy Dore, right?
Jimmy Dore, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Who
Yeah.
I'm not a particularly big fan of, but
No, I like certain clips, but yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. But Jimmy Dore even made that same Mike Pence joke, gay joke,
No, yeah.
and I was like, oh, so it's not just us; it's everybody
it's
thinks
everybody,
it.
yeah. As a matter of fact, there's a show that was on Comedy Central called The President Show.
I remember that show.
Yeah, where they just mocked Trump and Pence. And they did a thing where it's supposed to be like, it's a documentary that takes place in the future.
Okay.
And Mike Pence, they show him, he's like, he has his hair all done up and he's living in Miami Beach
Oh, Jesus.
with a really ripped pool boy.
Oh my God.
So I
we'd
think
get
it's a
that,
fairly
and with
common
Mitch
joke.
McConnell, we'd get a lot from Mitch McConnell too. But there's war crimes involved with Dick Cheney, so I want to know that. What about you? What's your final answer out of those three?
I think you've convinced me. I think it is also Dick Cheney. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, Mitch
McConnell.
McConnell is definitely a no for me because when he speaks, I can barely understand him anyway. So it'd be hard to decipher the truth.
That's a good point, Austin. That's a good point. It was between Mike Pence and Dick Cheney for me.
Because
but
if you gave Mitch McConnell truth serum, it would just be, what are you talking about, Mitch McConnell?
but he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
We just can't hear him. And Mike Pence, just not enough has happened with Mike Pence. Unfortunately, he's like fucking, he's white bread. He's nothing to this administration right now. He'll be our future president, but I mean, but because when Trump gets impeached this year,
What?
fingers crossed. But for now, nothing. Let's see. Our next question from Wartrout Gaming. This thread may have implications or implications for the OG fans.
Oh, yeah. If he's a fan, that's what he should have written.
I know. On future content, by he is a fan, so don't.
No, we're just fucking with him.
Ron. Thanks for listening, Ron. On future content for my stream, which is Wartrout Gaming on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
So keep that in mind.
Oh,
Number one.
Boy, that's a lot of pressure, Ron.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Number one, if you were, let's say, a professional wrestler, what would your finishing move be called? And then to add to that, what would your tag team? What about your tag team finisher? So first one, there's a couple questions, by the way. So first one, what would your finishing move be called? So my brain is very sexualized, so I'm thinking. I'd probably say. My finishing move would be.
I guess I'll have to play along with the theme, and it would be the bear hug.
Yes, yes, I love that. I love that.
I don't like how this meme started, but whatever. I'll play along.
I know. I would say. My finishing move would be called. lot of editing for you, Austin. This is a tough question.
You know what the stupid thing is? That in my head, it should be the Jeopardy theme playing, but for some reason it was the Law and Order theme. They're going to arrest Tom very soon.
Well, that's a cut for Patreon.
Yeah.
What would your finishing movie called? I would say, I'm trying to make it funny. That's why I'm having trouble thinking of one. I would call my finishing move the sticky situation. Imagine me climbing on the ropes.
No, I don't want to imagine any of this.
His finishing move, the sticky situation. Just whip your dick out.
Wow.
What about your tag team finisher? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Like, is that when two people are in the ring?
I guess so.
I thought, isn't tag team like when you tap out and another person replaces you? So that's not your finishing move. What about your tag team finisher? I don't know. Oh, okay.
And it's a Beatles reference.
There you go. Yeah, not a sexual one at all.
Nope.
I don't know.
Even when they say over me.
How about Swingers Paradise? Well, I don't know.
Wow. I don't think that works.
It's mine. Number 2. This is the second
I'm
question.
surprised you just don't call it like tag team finisher time.
Finishing time! Oh, that should have been my move. Finishing time. I just shout it every time I'm doing it.
Finishing time.
What kind of strategy would you employ in a fight? Would you play the rules or cheat to win? Cheat to win, easily, because it's all fictional, so it doesn't
I was going to say
matter.
I would hire Aaron Sorkin to write it for me. And then it would be long and preachy, but the liberal always wins. So.
Aaron?
Oh, my God. He's the guy who wrote The West Wing.
Sorkin. Okay, that's a fake person. Number 3.
Not a fake person.
How would you classify your fighting style? Would you be more of a powerhouse, someone who relies on small joint manipulation, or a high flyer? Well, I would definitely be... Well, Austin would probably be a power bot.
No, that is so not true. That is also not one of the options. But whatever, I can cut that out.
I couldn't resist. That was too easy because he's a powerhouse. I think I would be more of a power top. Someone who relies on small joint manipulation. What the fuck does that even mean, man?
I don't think power top is a distinction.
What are you talking about?
I think it's just assumed, isn't it?
No. It can be Listen, let's not get into this conversation. But what's this? Someone who relies on small joint manipulation. Like finger pulling and stuff
Tom,
like that?
It's small joint manipulation.
That's what my brain goes right to. It's like when you're grabbing his dick. But I think
I like how you've made this entire thing
about sex, yeah.
And gay sex.
Yeah. I don't know what small joint manipulation means. I'm thinking like pulling on fingers or I don't know. Is that what else is small joints?
I don't know.
Like wrist? I really don't know. Or a high flyer. Ron, I've never sat down and watched more than a minute of wrestling, so I don't know what that means.
No.
So I'm just going to give you answers. I'll say a powerhouse who relies on high flying.
What? I thought there were 3 different options. You can't combine them.
Oh, powerhouse. Oh, I thought he was describing powerhouse. Okay.
No.
So a powerhouse or someone who relies on small joint manipulation or a high flyer.
Yeah,
so
because it's not a question if you don't you don't separate those things.
I thought it was just 2 options there, and the one was a description of a powerhouse because I really don't know what a powerhouse means. But I guess a lot of it has to do with body type then. In that case, then I couldn't be a powerhouse. I'm not strong enough or anything like that. So I'd say someone who relies on small joint manipulation. Okay. Although I don't know what a high flyer is. But that sounds like someone who's athletic.
Is it somebody who jumps off the ropes?
So someone probably small and athletic, I'm
Maybe.
guessing.
I don't know.
So I'll go with the someone who relies on small joint manipulation. What about you? Powerhouse for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
No.
I hope we answered those questions right, but I really have no idea what I just answered.
Wrestling. I can tell you what an otter is, though.
and a wolf. We found out.
Yeah, we did find that out. It's always
next-
a learning experience when we have a conversation.
Next question, and I don't like where this thread went.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But
Paying attention to it via Austin's text. He's like, Tom, I think you should pay attention to what's going on. And I was like,
Because every response just kept making me laugh more than the previous one. But anyway, go ahead.
at HPrib012, one of our good friends, longtime listener, you started this. This is your fault. I say,
Which is totally fine, by the way.
Yeah. Sort of. I say
Tom's
you
not convinced.
institute a dare Twitter time ever so often. And with that being said, I dare you both to take 3 shots of tequila on air right now. That's innocent. If I had tequila, I would do that. And
Actually, I would too, because I don't have any. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not tequila. I thought it was.
I hate you for even doing that.
It's vodka. It's not tequila.
Oh, you actually have something there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's innocent enough. And with that alone, I would have said to you, maybe we should consider this. That'd be kind of fun to do dares.
3
And
shots,
then-
though, that's a lot.
And then Steven at Propaganda
Oh, boy.
decided to weigh in on this. And he responded, how long until someone would dare them to kiss? I was like,
Which would be impossible, by the way, because
where you
we are
don't
2
live
states
near
apart,
each other.
yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the problems. Next,
well,
Hannah
it's the most obvious one.
well, I'm hoping we at least keep it relatively classy. Plus, they're rarely in the same state nowadays for that to even work.
Yeah,
okay.
so- And if there's anything said about our show, it's
Yeah.
that it's totally classy.
Now, I thought there was a lot more to this thread. I don't know if something got deleted or something like that, but Steven, I remember, replied something about double over, classy, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'd be worried about. But it's not there anymore, so I can't really.
Oh, is
so-
that where the thread ends? That's weird.
Yeah, there was a lot longer.
No, there's
than
a
that,
lot
but-
more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if we'll institute a dare thing or not. That's something we can think about, but I'm worried about where that goes.
Wait. No, there is a lot more. Oh
It's
my
not-
God, there's
really?
a lot more.
Is it really? Because it's not
There's
showing up for me.
a lot more. Okay.
Yeah, then you take care of this because when I click the link,
Okay, so where are we up to? Keep it relatively classy. Okay.
yeah,
Here we go.
yeah.
So Propaganda responds, classy listeners, working classy maybe.
That's right.
And then Hannah responds, LOL, I'm just thinking there aren't many closeted homophobes who listen who would be like, make the 2 bi-hos kiss. And then,
Jesus Christ.
and then Propaganda says, good point, but I'm rarely surprised by closeted homophobes these days, especially in your country. Okay, Stephen, we get it. You live in a better country.
That's true. That's a good response
Yeah.
from Steven too.
And then, and then Hannah goes, yeah, I'm hoping for the one guy who says, you guys are, word I'm not going to say. And she even censors it. Now I want to see you kiss. And then, oh, wait. And then Propaganda replies, these are all in quotes, by the way, as if they're the person.
Right,
See,
right,
it's
right,
hard
right.
to read a Twitter thread like this.
It is, yeah.
Let me get a tissue first. Hannah says they tune in every week. Oh my God, Stephen. They'd only make it to Twitter time and listen with their pants around their ankles.
Oh my God. What the fuck happened in this thread? Go on.
Oh, then Hannah points out, though, we'd still get the download. That's true. We would still get
Okay.
the download.
Which we're okay with.
Yeah. Oh, so only patrons can dare the host. That's interesting.
Oh, that might be a better idea.
Yeah. Oh, and then Steven says, so I can dare them to put the porncast. That's it. I'm done. It's the porncast.
The porncast. Jeez. That thread went
Oh my God.
places I didn't expect it to go. Definitely didn't expect it to go that way.
But anyway, so that was an insane thread.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was funny.
Yeah.
I always love things like that. That's pretty fun. All right. Ready for the lightning round?
Oh, is it Dr. Ninja Monkey time?
Courtesy of Dr. Ninja Monkey.
Okay.
Unlimited budget. Unlimited budget. What would your Super Bowl advert be? Go.
Oh, unlimited budget. Okay. Well, it would be for the show. Mm-hmm. And it would involve I think I don't know what I'd do with it, actually. Bernie Sanders would have to be there, and so would AOC. But they probably won't take a lot of money, so that's not going to help with the unlimited budget. Anyway, our tagline would still be "Where Wings Take Dream."
Oh yeah. No one will understand it, but it'll be fine.
And I think we'd have like a bald eagle, flying around. I don't know. I
would too, obviously, do for the show. Mm-hmm. I like the bald eagle idea. That's actually a really
Where
good
Wings
idea.
Take Dream.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with where Wings Take Dream though.
I think the bald eagle would swoop down and hit Donald Trump right in the head, and his head would explode like that Scanners movie.
All right, I just tossed my phone because my mom won't stop texting me, so I literally threw it across my room.
There you go.
Yeah, those are all good ideas. But if are we taking this on a serious note? Because no one would understand where Wings Take Dream.
And then after the eagle makes Trump's head explode, then I would hire David Gilmour to play a solo on top of a giant building.
Oh, I like that because it's unlimited budget. But he'll take it. He'll take it.
To be perfectly honest, you know what I do with an unlimited budget?
What would you do?
I wouldn't produce an ad at all. I would take all that money and buy David Gilmour's guitars that are up for auction right now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. And then I would go, oops. And then I would run away to Cambodia.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
Can you believe he's selling the guitar he wrote Wish You Were Here on?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's selling like all of his guitars, like all of them.
For what reason?
They're giving it to some kind of charity. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like a Gilmour kind of thing to do.
But oh my God, what I would kill to have that 12-string.
Would
Martin.
You play it?
Oh, of course I would. I'd play Wish You Were Here.
You would play it.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
They're meant to be played. They're instruments.
Yeah, I know, but I
don't believe in that whole collector nonsense.
No, but it's almost. I'm not looking at it as a collector. I'm looking at it as a historian, which is what I am. I would look at it as like that's a piece of history. It's not a collecting thing. It's like you want to preserve that for history. Say, hey, the great guitarist David Gilmour created one of the most recognizable and beautiful tracks ever created with this guitar. It's a piece of history. If you overplay it,
but there's lots of you can't overplay it. Guitars, the way they work is the more you play them, the better they sound. But we use tons of things from history over and over again. Like buildings, there's like buildings in New York that we've used since the country was founded.
Yeah, but this is bigger than that. We don't really
Wish You Were Here on it.
with certain it's like a document. With documents, we don't reuse documents.
They're a lot more fragile than a guitar is. A guitar is meant to be played. Documents aren't meant to be handled.
I disagree. I disagree.
They're not made out of paper.
I would encase it and never ever touch it again.
If they were the lyrics, like the handwritten lyrics, I would agree.
Nope, the guitar. Okay, next question.
It's meant to be played.
Next question. Who would you like to have seen play the Super Bowl halftime show? That's a good one. Who would you rather see? Well, you're probably going to answer Rush, I'm betting.
No, because Neil can't play anymore. But
that's right.
I would say the surviving members of Pink Floyd, just to make the whole theme go together. Okay. I mean, if they did their live 8 set at the Super Bowl halftime, that'd be amazing.
The only reason why I would say no is the same reason why I'll say no to like me wanting Queen to do the show. You're missing Dave. You're missing Richard Wright.
Yes, I know, but he's not one of the singers, so it doesn't matter.
No, I know, but I take issue with that kind of stuff. I really do. Like you can't have the band come on when one of the important members, especially of early Floyd, is not there.
Well, then I
wouldn't want to see Queen play.
Yeah, but it's different when it's the lead singer because the voice is that's the sound of the band. The rest of it is just instruments.
Even if it was Roger Taylor for Queen, I wouldn't want to see Queen. That's not Queen. It's not Pink Floyd. I would rather I would say yes to.
I'd still like to see them play. What the fuck difference does it make?
Like a David Gilmour, just David Gilmour.
Why? Why not have them? Why not have the surviving members play together? Because they'll still play the music. So you'd rather see less of the original members play the same music?
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, kind of.
That makes no sense.
That
literally makes no sense.
I don't like the touring on it or playing the name Pink Floyd when that's not Pink Floyd.
But they already did that.
When
Roger Waters left.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Fucking moron.
Oh, and they created albums too.
Yes.
Oh, several.
Yeah.
really good albums that I listen to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, that's debunked.
So that shut Tom up right in his tracks.
That's debunked. Yeah. I mean, I would love to see them play, but I don't think that would... Well, no, actually, you know what? That would be a good halftime show because of the light show. Yeah. They kind of...
And if Roger Waters were there, he could actually design a good show.
True.
Because there's one thing he is brilliant at is theatrics.
Oh, yeah. That's a guarantee. And then you got Gilmore to lead the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what... Yeah, I guess you sold me. You sold me.
I mean, it shouldn't have been a hard sell. I can't believe I had to work that hard to convince you.
I'll go different because I agree with I do agree. I would like to see Floyd play, but I would say just to change it up, I'd like to see one of my other favorite bands, Green Day. I'd like to see them. I think they put on a very good live show.
I can't believe they haven't done it already.
Yeah, they haven't. I don't know if they want to because I think they're on the same lines of the NFL as I am, as you are probably.
I don't think Pink Floyd would do it either, but I'm just saying.
No, I don't think so either. But I think Green Day puts on a good show.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if their music would appeal to the rednecks in the stadium, but
but Prince's did.
Yeah, right. Or the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, or Maroon 5. The rednecks love them.
Yeah, I don't
Janet
think
Jackson.
that matters.
Like, I mean, come on, they've never
Justin
had
Timberlake.
an act that appealed to the rednecks.
I would imagine. I'm surprised that like a major country star hasn't done the Super Bowl.
Because who the fuck wants to listen to that?
Football fans. A
Yeah,
lot of
but
football
not the
fans
people in the stadium. Because the people in the stadium are all like rich corporatists.
Well, that's a good point too. Yeah.
Paul McCartney put on a good show.
It's sad that Richard's not with us anymore, though.
Yeah. Actually,
like
Tom
Richard.
Petty put on a pretty good show too.
And then I guess there's only one more question from Dan. Best advert or commercial ever? And I'm guessing.
Oh,
referring to the Super Bowl. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was going to say because I
specify,
don't know. I don't even remember them.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really remember.
I remember there being some good ones, but I don't remember them. I remember the worst ones actually.
Do you?
What's
the worst?
The worst one was it a Ford? Oh shit!
Was it this year, by the way?
No, it was last year.
Okay.
There was a truck commercial. I can't remember if it was Ford or Chevy, but they had their truck over it was images of the truck over the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
That's bad. I remember there being a very emotional one. I think it involved LGBT.
Oh, it was Ram.
Oh, it was Ram?
It was a Ram
commercial. Jesus Christ.
Over Martin Luther King Jr. sermon.
Yeah, that's bad. That's just not...
Just what he would have wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember there being like a tear-jerking one that I remember really liking, but I don't even remember what it was about. It was just, I just remember the memory of it, if that makes any sense.
I have a dream.
But I don't remember what it was.
Day, everybody will have a Ram truck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then all Ram trucks will be distributed equally. Slipped a little into Obama there.
I guess I don't really have an answer for this one, Dan. I just don't really care that much about the Super Bowl. Never really been fully into it. Never really went to a Super Bowl party and had that typical American tradition of it. Football is just not my favorite sport. So, I don't know. It's a tough question for me. Is that it? No more comments for this one? No.
I've seen a lot of Super Bowl ads, but I just can't think. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them just kind of blended. I remember some being funny, but man, nothing that stands out right now. So I guess they weren't that good.
On their ads. So.
Yeah. But anyway, that ends this week's Twitter time. If you want your question read on air, make sure that you pay attention to our Twitter feed at DumbleOverPod, where every week we do post the little thread for questions. If you don't go on Twitter, you can message them to us on Facebook or comment on any of our social medias, and we will make sure we read them.
Yeah,
I haven't said social medias in a long time.
I know. I was just thinking.
Just dawned on me.
Like, I haven't heard that in a while.
Let's take our final break of the day.
When
we come back, we will have our final thoughts. And so ends our big dumb show. Austin, what are your final thoughts?
I am very much looking forward to the debate on the Green New Deal. And
It's going to be fun, yeah.
I love the fact that this is now in the mainstream debate, now mainstream news.
Yeah.
Like, this is a conversation we're having, just like, last month and, well, pretty much up until this week when she unleashed the resolution for the Green New Deal. We were all having a debate about the 70% marginal tax rate.
We were.
Which
She's
never would have happened before.
No, she is bringing up conversations that, and I got to give her credit over Bernie Sanders, however she's able to do this. Bernie Sanders has not been able to do it as successfully. Now, Bernie clearly set the groundwork for this. Yes, I'll give him that. But in less than a month, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has brought in this like, wow, we need to talk about this.
Yeah,
How the fuck is she doing that?
Most of it has to do with her story.
That definitely helps. And her personality.
She beat, well, of course, personality, but she beat somebody who was assured to win his district again.
Yeah.
She's very young. Mm-hmm. And
very energetic.
She comes from New York City instead of Vermont.
Yep.
Which is also bigger news.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Yeah. It's just really fascinating to see that like these topics that have been shunned by the media for so long are now like mainstream.
Now this is what we're talking about.
Issues. Yeah. Which is exactly what we needed.
And who knew that could happen in the era of Trump, where we all just assume that whatever he would say would be the news.
Nope.
But now we have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez talking about things that, well, it's funny because like 50 years ago, this wouldn't have been a debate. Like a 70% marginal tax rate would have been lower than the taxes.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that was a bad thing.
Yeah. And so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to let Virginia secede. I don't know about you.
I was never willing to have them back. I don't know what you're talking about. Man, if I was president during the Civil War, I would have just worked on freeing African Americans, and that's it. I don't want them back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they had the economy. I know. We'll just go west. We'll do everything that way. You guys keep the South. We'll take the West. Case closed.
Maybe that'll be the next Gary Johnson bid. Like, oh, where am I? Look at, oh no, it's people in blackface. I must be in Virginia. It's like, no, Gary, you're in Africa. They're not in blackface.
Like it.
Those are real black people.
Okay.
Oh, I've never seen them before. I only attend libertarian functions.
Are there any black libertarians? I don't think I've ever seen one.
If there are, it's like the black Republicans, though. It's just.
But also, libertarians aren't as popular as Republicans, so I guess maybe that's part of the reason why I haven't seen any.
What? Not as popular? What?
Yeah. When you
I
only
got
win
3% of the vote.
election. 3%. I'm sorry. I gave you a little bit of lower number there.
Actually, your number might be more accurate. I just assume, like libertarians, that Gary Johnson lies about what's true.
What else you got?
Other than that, I mean, I'm definitely don't regret not listening to the State of the Union.
Oh yeah,
because I already know what the State of the Union is. It's bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's about it.
Is that it?
Yeah. Gonna put in my order for a new Gucci turtleneck.
I am interested to see what
buy
happens. Oh, you're gonna get the Gucci turtleneck? Oh yeah, is that right? Good for you.
I'm edgy.
You're edgy. That's one word for it.
I really don't understand what they were thinking. Like, I really just don't get it.
Me neither.
What are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't understand how that could get passed. Like, you don't know that's racist? Come on.
I know.
You know that. How do you not know that's racist?
I know.
I mean, I know that, like, there's a Dutch, like, tradition of wearing blackface, but it's heavily contested because people realize it's racist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about it.
I forgot what it's called. It starts with, like, a Z.
And isn't it like a Christmas thing?
Yeah, I think it's around Christmas. Yeah. I remember learning about that while I was in my education classes, and I'm like, wait, what? What? What you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, we have a blackface Christmas. It's like, what?
No.
We have a blackface
but
Christmas.
even most of the populace there knows that that's bad.
Yeah.
Because they riot every year to try to stop it.
They should move to Virginia.
I thought we were talking about Virginia. I'm sorry.
Apparently, yeah, it probably is how they celebrate Christmas in Virginia.
Man, it would be more funny if it wasn't true.
I know.
All right, so by the way, Jill Stein and Gary Johnson won a collective, well, all the other candidates won a collective amount of 3.1%.
Ah.
Like, their number is so small that I'm not even allowed to see how much of that was Gary Johnson's.
Oh, it was a lot of
National popular vote, others won 5% total. 6 million votes.
Yeah.
So there's 6 million Green Party and Libertarians that went out to vote. So it's not a big margin. No. Just wanted to clarify that, I guess. Other than that, yeah, I got nothing else. It's just the news is just fucking weird. It's just fucking weird, Austin. I mean,
yeah.
Every week we say the same thing. It can't get weirder, and it gets weirder.
Yeah, it does.
Just wait, we're gonna have more on this Virginia shit.
Oh, yeah.
Something else is gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
What? I don't know. I can't imagine what else. But I also couldn't imagine the top 4 powerful people in Virginia all have something to do with blackface.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't imagine that in any story.
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, 3 of them do, and then one of them's a rapist.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Actually, I think the lieutenant governor is black. Which I think makes this situation even worse because then the lieutenant governor technically runs with the governor, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, does that even make it worse? Like, how does he feel? Well, I don't fucking care how he feels because he's a rapist. So, what a weird story, man. I can't even feel like I can't even support one of those people because they're all terrible.
They're all terrible people.
It's crazy.
Oh, Virginia, why? Why do you do this to us?
But anyway. I think that about wraps up this week's episode. What do you think?
I think so.
All right.
Still waiting for you to talk about me.
We did. We talked about the
know.
State of the Union.
What? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I gave that speech.
You were there.
All right.
Sort of. Maybe.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. No, that wasn't my line. Shit, I forgot what it was.
Thanks for listening. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with a whole lot of other shit. And guess what? Next week, Kevin comes back for the Not Politics report. Yeah, so that should be fun. And then following week, we can Stephen. So we're getting back to our normal routine.
Nice.
Yeah, should be fun. Should be a
2
fun
weeks
rest
in a
of the
row.
month.
Not politics, not America.
Right?
I love reports that aren't about other things.
I know. It's great. It's great. Anyway, have a good week. We'll see you next week. Well, again, I say that every week, but we won't see you next week. We will talk to you next week.
We'll be here.
We'll be here. I'm done talking. Pre-recorded Tom, take it away. Once again, thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find us on Spreaker.com/DumbleOverPod. We're also available on iTunes. Just look up DumbleOverPod. We are on all the social medias, starting with Twitter @DumbleOverPod, Facebook @DumbleOverPod, and of course, there's Instagram. And you guessed it, it's @DumbleOverPod. We are also on Patreon, so check out our Patreon at patreon.com/DumbleOverPod. And if you're interested in buying some merch with some special logos, you can check that out at tpublic.com/user/DumbleOverPod. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.